Speaking of
how late are we going?
Illiterate media people.
I'm just trying to eat
Joe,
some
I don't know.
chili.
He told me to hop on here, so here I am.
It was 20 minutes ago.
I mean, I was in the shower. I could have
fresh out of the shower, Jon Alba.
I could have hopped on if you really wanted me to.
Do you sing in the shower, Jon Alba?
Do I sing in the shower? No, I don't sing in the shower.
John, would you say this week that TNA broke bad?
Say that again?
Would you say this week that TNA broke bad?
I believe it's made the two of these hosts here mad men, if you will.
I think
that's another show that was on that network.
It is indeed another show that was on there, yeah.
Mad Men. Yeah, that was a good show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly broke, maybe. But anyway.
We've talked a lot. I mean, listen, say what you want about everything that's going on with TNA right now. A lot of airspace has been dedicated to TNA this week.
For the wrong reasons!
Sadly.
So, when I did a show with Vince Russo, he used to use that as his thing. He goes, oh, well, Arquette winning the WCW title was on the cover of USA Today. And I'm like, yeah, so was the fucking OJ chase, okay? It's not always good.
I don't think this is the kind of attention that they would
Maybe they. By the way, haters, I'm eating chili over here. I'm not snorting Coke.
Oh, why aren't you giving me? I want some chili.
No, listen, I do think it's so polarizing in a way because you do have all this talk about them going on right now, but at the same time, I mean, I have no reason to believe they're not getting a media deal by January. So,
and that's fine. Like that's understandable.
No, it's just funny, this dynamic, right? Like, there's a lot of bad PR right now going on with the company, but at the same time, there's gonna be some good PR for them too. So
hopefully,
I mean, look, and Sean, I know you share this with me, this sentiment with me, but pretty much anything is a net positive for them as far as a new media rights deal.
Easily,
it's just the reality of it. Like, they are not making money off of their rights right now. They are in front of a limited audience. So any $1 coming in off their rights is a net positive because they're not making anything off of it right now. Domestically.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know how they make money. Like, I mean, I've been trying to find out their quite frankly, what it is that they do to make money for years. And nobody seems to know outside of, well, maybe they're a loss leader for the larger elements of what they're doing. Because I've often said this, the only commercials that you'll see on TNA are usually like Access commercials for Sammy Hagar concerts that are going to air on Access. Like I just remember seeing those an awful lot. It's
but then it's also like, depending on what money you make, how are you allocating that money? Where's the money going? Is the money going towards being a live TV program every single week? Is the money going towards talent? Is the money, like, where does that go? And if the number 7 to 10 million is correct, which frankly, I was very surprised that Carlos was so open with putting that out there, which, I mean, we as media appreciate that because that's
sure.
But 7 to 10 million a year, again, net positive, but that's not a ton of money to be able to invest in talent with what the competitive pay scale is for pro wrestling these days either.
Plus, I mean, they rent their equipment, they rent their rings and all that stuff. That, like, when people will come to me and say, oh, do you think WWE is going to buy TNA? I'm like, why? What are they buying? They're buying a library. That's it. They're buying library and IP. It's not talent. They can sign that whenever they want. And apparently they can buy it out whenever they want in the case of Joe Hendry. There is no star too big for TNA to be like, no, we'll let them get bought out, because Joe Hendry is the biggest star that they have had outside of the Hardys in years, and they just use the Hardys whenever they want them to. They don't own rings. They don't own equipment.
It might be a net positive for TNA, but let me ask this. Can it still be disappointing, even if it's a net positive of, we've heard all of this chatter of CW, A&E, now AMC, but what if it just ends up on like the CW app? I know that's still beneficial, of everything, because I guess the CW app can theoretically still bring more than Access TV, but does that actually boost TNA in any viable way?
Sorry, I'll take this for a
Why are
second.
you 6-7ing over there?
Yeah.
Because that's
Come
how
on, Joel. April, May, June out here. Not
6-7 million.
that's the money they're looking at. But at the end of the day, like, the money that they make is exactly the reason why it's okay. That is, it gets them off of the station that they're on that doesn't really care for them anyway, puts them literally anywhere else. But also the money that they make allegedly will help them either keep doing what they're doing at the pace that they're doing it, or show some form of growth.
I also think, Joel, people who like to weigh in on this stuff, wrestling fans, a lot of them lack a lot of context for what does this mean in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, like, let's say A&E, let's say CW, let's say Peacock were part of the negotiations for this. Just because an entity is negotiating and entering that process does not mean that failing to end up with that network is a failure in your media negotiations. Like, sure, CW could be involved, but CW, for all we know, could be like, here's what we value you at, and it's significantly below what you think you're worth. So they bow out. And that's the nature of all these media rights negotiations for any entity, professional sport. Look what just happened with the NBA and TNT last year, where David Zaslav was insistent that the NBA only had a certain threshold of value. And the NBA was like, screw that. We know what we believe our value is worth. And the NBA was right. But WBD was in on the negotiation. So it's a much bigger process. And Sean, you and I talked about this a few days ago, but it's like, there's just such a need for content in the space right now that these networks are going to be willing to pay money if they believe it's a viable way of keeping themselves afloat and getting people to consume what they put out there.
I logged into my HBO Max yesterday. I'm a big true crime fan. And I looked through all these things, and it's like one season. And I'm like, oh yeah, I see what a lot of these companies are doing. They want to have individual shows so they can show, look how much stuff we have, like to lure them in. Like, there are very few things that can just draw a completely different audience to your network. And Netflix, when I talked to them about WWE, they said that they believe that WWE is one of those. They said that almost everybody has Netflix, but there's some people that just watch wrestling. There's some people that just watch sports. And that's what they wanted to get into next. That's why they got into boxing and pro wrestling. That's why I expect Amazon to get into wrestling in the future.
Agreed.
Because there is that audience. It's one of the few audiences that they can grab and bring over and add to it. And that's honestly why so many different platforms want pro wrestling. Now, the big panel data stuff is its own thing.
Sean, BD&P.
Whatever. I asked Carlos Silva the week that dropped, and it sounded like he had never even heard that existed, which I don't know what that says about anything. But I straight up said, like, is this affecting you all? Is this going to get you all lowballed? And he's like, hasn't been brought up. He's like, don't even know what you're talking about. And I had to explain it to him. Also, I'm 98% positive he thought I was you. So
yeah, I know you did say that. You thought that he thought that you were
He called me John. And then I hung up and I said, "I bitch," and hung up.
John Ross Sapp over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there were other comments made about Graves and stuff. It was just weird. It was a whole weird conversation. But no, but like someone in the comments are saying, like, is there any benefit in negotiating with WBD? No. I mean, WBD is going to get sold and it might dissolve as a company altogether. So there's no benefit of that. And that's part of the conversation too. I know you guys have hit on this, but it's like the real estate is slimming. There are not as many places that you can go take your media rights to these days that is on cable or broadcast. A lot of the offerings are strictly over the top, or they're consolidated to the point where they have existing relationships with other organizations. Look at this real conversation 2.5 hours into your show.
It's upsetting,
Isn't it?
honestly.
I gotta
This is what happens when I show up. I got my little bowl of chili and I roll in 12 minutes after the show's supposed to be off.
Yeah, we never ended 12 o'clock. That's a
Yeah,
myth.
we got to be
that-
running back. We got to be bored out of our gourds to be done at 12 these days.
We were trying to wrap. Joel was doing on the Raw preview and everything.
Yeah.
We had a moment of the weekend.
I'll be
up,
at Raw
and
tonight.
That's unfortunate.
Will you?
I'm handing out a lot of because we got our Hardy Party at Connolly's in
Like
New
it was
York City
standing
on November 22nd at 11 a.m. where tickets can be purchased at hardyboyslive.com. It's a live Matt Hardy podcast followed by a Jeff concert and a meet, greet, and delete for the ages. And I'll be handing out flyers outside of Madison Square Garden tonight prior to going in.
Can you send me a
You
flyer?
PayPal me $20.
I made a whole ass video for Sean to put on
So
these
you're
shows.
papering it, huh? Are you going to be giving out free tickets as
20%
well?
off, Sean.
To Jacob
w-
Cohen, yes.
I'm going to get Thurston on your ass so quick.
Get the real turnstile count.
Jacob
out there.
Cohen. Yeah, is Thurston going to be trying to send a Freedom of Information Act request to try to find out what Connolly's is putting out there?
Is Jeff Hardy going to face Solo tonight? That's what people
I
want to
have
know.
no indication that something like that is happening. I've seen all these people speculating about that. I personally would be shocked if that happened. However, I was shocked when Broken Matt Hardy showed back up on TNA TV. I had no idea. So I think I came on with one of you guys and was like, I think it might have been you, Joel. And I was like, I had no idea this was happening.
We talked about the AI video.
That's right. So yeah, I it could happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. I think Jeff Hardy would probably be annoyed having to go to New York City, fly back to North Carolina, and then come back to New York City later in the week. But who's to say? I don't know.
I can just stay in New York. Just hang out. Go show up at NXT tomorrow. I'll be fine. Dark State's wrestling tomorrow, I think. I think that match is tomorrow. So I could get back at Dark State, help Leon and Javon win the NXT Tag Team titles.
Would you guys give Javon Evans a 1-2-3 kid moment tonight?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great.
Yes.
I would too.
I
I
think
love
Gunther's winning the whole
Gunther,
tournament,
but I
think
don't
it would
know
be
that
an
him
amazing
winning the
moment.
IC title.
One at
Go
a
ahead.
time, baby. One at a time.
Sorry, no, I was just saying. I think Gunther's winning the whole thing, but it would be pretty amazing to see Javon Evans get a moment like that.
Yeah, I love Gunther. I think there is something to him being the guy that retired Goldberg and John Cena and just being like that guy. And you can naturally carry that into a future feud with Randy Orton, who was the legend killer. And he says, I want to kill the legend killer as well. But I would give Javon Evans that, and I would bring him up immediately.
Guys, let me ask you our poll question for today. All right. It's a very important question. The people need to know the answer to it. Will Triple H or should Triple H open Raw? Yes. Just enjoy the show 100%, or it's what we do.
I voted
what do you guys
in this.
think?
I voted in this. I said it's what
Did
we
you?
do.
It's
Yeah.
what we do. Sean?
I'm going to go with D. You like that? Question mark.
You
Well,
like
get
that
fu-
D. All right, got it.
I only get 4 options. These are our 4 options. It's what we do has won our poll question with 60% of the vote. Just enjoy the show got 23%. Yes got 11%, and 100% got 5%.
It's got to be. It's what we do
Yeah, I agree.
because it is what we do.
Very
That's
much
what
looking
they do.
forward. Yeah, very much looking forward to Triple H telling everybody cheer for John Cena. Like,
You know what
they're not gonna cheer for John Cena.
You know what the best part is? When he either tonight also brings out Shawn Michaels because they're doing NXT the next night, or when Paul shows up tomorrow night for Gold Rush and does a thing with Shawn Michaels in the back because they're in town again.
Maybe Carlos Silva will congratulate John Cena for winning the Intercontinental
The
Championship.
title around his waist and then tell him he's part of an investigation that's ongoing. Yeah, let's go.
Just a couple guys that hate being on TV,
So-
right?
So much.
And then I, as John Ross Sapp, will reach out to Carlos Silva.
I did have an idea when TNA gets this new television deal and their first show. You know, we talked about, stop blaming the company sucks. My idea is, why are you laughing, Jon Alba?
Just keep going. It's fine.
My idea is that they place the blame on why the company sucks, why it's so terrible, and Bishop Dyer comes out.
Yes.
Like, it is all his fault that this show has sucked
Hey,
for
buddy.
the last 6 months.
You know who else is also a free agent? Saraya.
Oh.
It's these GMs from 2018's fault.
Killing
it has
our
been a
show.
domino effect. It was a trickle-down effect. This is what Reagan was talking about that whole time. He predicted it, and now that's why the show sucked. It's because of Saraya and Bishop Dyer.
Bishop Dyer
Wait,
comes
it
out with his
it wasn't like Commissar Bishop Dyer. It was Constable.
Constable Corbin. Yeah, Constable Corbin. Yeah.
Which
Now
is
they're
like
calling
one
Detective
step above
Dyer.
like a rent-a-cop.
Yeah, we
I
talked
remember
about that with him. He had no idea what a constable was.
Yeah, like in our town, we had one person who was a sheriff's deputy, and then there was a constable. And we're like, bro, you don't even have a uniform or a badge. Like, why? We're not listening to you.
Constable, very important person. TNA should just blame him. Guys,
I want them to do well so bad. I love so many of the people there. And I look at people like AJ Francis, who where else was giving him a shot at that point, and he capitalized on it. And
I'm with you.
The Hardys found the perfect place for them in TNA, to where they draw and the company makes money off them. They make money off the company. Mike Santana was able to get his shot there. Steve Macklin was able to prove himself as a commodity there, like prove himself as a good character there.
I just really want to see them embrace a lot more young talent. I really
Me
do.
too.
And there's some great young talent out there that are so TV ready on the indies, that can still do the indies and keep the indies healthy while also getting TV reps on TNA. And I really want to see more of that on TNA television. I think that would be beneficial, because aside from like the Hardys being a huge draw, what's been one of the more exciting parts about TNA programming this year? Leon Slater, right? And I mean, anytime Leon Slater wrestles, you want to watch it. And there's a lot of people like Leon Slater out there who deserve an opportunity. So I hope that's the case. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm sorry.
There's plenty more over on Fightful Overbooked. Click that subscribe button, tap that bell, get your notifications. And while you're at it, like the videos. Interact with them. Say some stuff. We want to hear from you. While you're at it, join us every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, live for In the Weeds. You might like it.